Hey guys, this is John. Welcome to the free video. So what's going on today? Let's talk about earnings first. Bed Bath & Beyond, this is an earnings play that we did and in the room, and you can see here it's trending lower. Typically, earnings like this are not going to reverse a trend. Like the market kind of is pretty good at pricing in information. So based on this, I was looking for sideways to down continuation movement, and to deal with this, we sold the 70-75 call credit spread. And how this works essentially is that because you've got really high implied volatility and you're going to get that IV crush, in this case, if the earnings were positive and obviously exploded higher and the stock was trading at $80 tomorrow, then I'd lose money. However, it could trade as high as $71.75, and at that point it'd be a scratch trade because of how jacked up these options are right now. And then of course, if it does indeed open up lower tomorrow, then we'll get max profit on the trade. A lot of times people are scared about these, but it's all you can essentially establish how much you're willing to risk. So it's not like there's, you don't risk more than you can afford, so it doesn't, blow up in your face or anything like that. And remember, the one guarantee is that implied volatility is going to revert back to the mean. So what type of trade can you do with that? Well, you could sell out of the money calls too, higher probability of success, but then you may have to defend it if it does go against you. In this case, working that way. All right, so anyway, hopefully that made sense. What about the indexes? Everything today was pretty sloppy. So for the spiders, we did sell off 0.71%, and we actually did take out some levels here. Just keep in mind, my whole contention with this market is that the 2100 level is the mean. And what that means is that if we get too far away from it to the upside, we come back down. If we get too far away from it to the downside, we come back up. We've been doing that for most of 2015. The biggest concern I have is the transportation sector, which today actually had a pretty big down day, down nearly 2%. You've got a squeeze setting up, and at this point, if the transportation sector takes this out, now we've tested it 1, 2, 3 times. If it bounces again, guess what? Great, the indexes will pop back up to about 2120 or so. But if this takes it out, then things could get interesting to the downside. And then, of course, Netflix popped up today on news about a 7-for-1 stock split. The funny thing and the irony about this is that a stock split in no way, shape, or form benefits a stock. It's just a little bit of a, it's the same stock, it's the same amount of, just more shares outstanding divided by a lower price. Nothing changes, but it's interpreted as, oh my God, it's a super positive event. So on something like this, the initial pullback, once you break the high to low bar, that's a buy signal, but you just got to be careful and just trail up a stop. And then from there, it's anything goes. I think there was a tweet or something here, but at this point, it just got dumped. I would actually like to sell a put credit spread, especially if we could gap down tomorrow, but only if we gap down. Okay, so that is that one. And in terms of the overall market, if we go back here to the SPX, that's of course a 10-minute chart. If we go back to the daily chart, you can see that the range that we've been in, and in this kind of market, the #1 play to do for low risk, high reward trades are actually setting up multiple butterflies, and you can set butterflies up at the upper end of the range and on the lower end of the range, and you just need to know how to time it to do that. And last chance, if you have not signed up for Bruce's bread and butter butterfly class, he shows you how to do all this. He's the best guy on the planet for doing this. He's done these trades for over 20 years, did it from a hedge fund perspective, as well as his own personal account. It's Wednesday, 8 to 10 East Coast time. If you're getting this and you missed it, but you're still getting this actual same email, you can still get it for $97 and just view the recording. All right, very highly recommended, especially in this market environment. Okay, and that's what it is, simpleroptions.com/BNB. You guys have a great night. See you at the next update.